Aloha, my name is Ian. Check out my backyard.
I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place with my own two hands, make it a kinder place with my own two hands, with my own two hands.
Akamai Backyard is a homeschool project based on learning to change the world with our own two hands.
My mom homeschools me and 6 of my friends. Our school name is Akamai Learning. Akamai means intelligence or common sense in Hawaiian. Our yard is filled with school projects where we learn to live the solution.
It's the water catchment, see right there. We built that so it can leak out and nutritious, like make the plants all healthy.
We just have pretty good energy habits. We have power strips and we turn them off at night.
My name is Brendan.
Yeah, there's a lot of animals. Chickens, dogs, cats.
With my own.
I've been stung by a bee a couple times.
That when you have a garden, you should water it every day.
With my own two.
Aren't these kids beautiful? I'm so lucky to have been able to spend a few years with my sons and their friends on a learning adventure. My background for 20 years was in business or engineering, so that really influenced a lot of our studies. Last year, we were really focused on the election and wars, resource depletion, climate change, certainly the financial crisis. But for 7th grade, that got a little depressing. So last spring, I took a permaculture class, and I decided to change direction with the kids.
In March of 2009, I helped to produce a permaculture course here on Hawaii, and Felicia was a student of the course. It's just been a real inspiration because her project here at Akamai Backyard is really what we've envisioned in Regenerations, which is a decentralized botanical garden.
Integrated systems are the key to sustainable agriculture.
So you know what I learned is like permaculture, like what's permaculture? But you know what it is it's speeding up nature. It's like putting nature in fast forward. We do like what I call a lasagna trench. We dig about 18 inches underneath the ground there, and we put layer upon layer that's like a forest floor. The fun thing with all this, you get to love your green waste. You just bury it.
That was a lasagna trench! Ow! We did it in an hour!
I think the main thing I want to share with our story is just how quickly this happened. I didn't used to be a plant person. This was basically just a yard. And in less than a year, we've had so much abundance.
That's why we call it Akamai Backyard.
We are so blessed to have our humble little home in our ordinary little town on our extraordinarily beautiful island of Kauai in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Our isolation is what creates our vulnerability. About 97% of Kauai's energy comes from diesel fuel. At present, the state of Hawaii imports more than 95% of its consumer resources and 90% of its food. Our carbon impact is high because of all this shipping. Providing our food should be remarkably easy with our generous rainfall and year-round growing season. The Hawaiians thrived for over 1,000 years with the help of plants they brought with them in their canoes from Polynesia. The secret of our success has been through learning the wisdom of the Hawaiians and trying to utilize their plants and farming practices.
He kualoha
We know that when our ancestors were living here for the past 2,000 years, they didn't need food shipped in. So how did they live in such a way that it allowed for a large population, but it didn't lead to a destruction of natural resources, either in the forest or the ocean or the agricultural system?
The Hawaiian word for land and resources is aina, and if you break that word down and translate it, it means that which feeds, or that which feeds us. They considered the land and the resources as that which fed them. Then you want to do everything you can to take care of those land and resources so that it continues to feed and nurture you.
A lot of estimates that say the population before contact with the West was between 800,000 and 1.2 million people. How do we feed 1 million people in these islands without spam, without wheat or bread or rice? We did that with a few key plants. You know, we did taro, with sweet potato, with breadfruit. There's other really important ones like bananas and other things, but you know, it's with these critical plants that have been adapted to this area that have provided for sustainability for a population of upwards of 1 million people for hundreds of years. You know, to go back to that and look at the wisdom of our ancestors and see how can that be reapplied today in a modern context is that's what we're trying to do.
The place to start is all the traditional areas where Hawaiians farmed when Captain Cook arrived. Those areas, they didn't farm them by accident. They farmed them because they knew they were productive, had abundant water resources available. That's the reasons they farmed these lands.
In ancient times, the children were taken with to the farming, to fishing, to practicing all of these things that they did that were part of their lifestyle. And I think today, you know, we're more apt to put your kids in childcare and go do whatever it is you're doing. But in fact, they transferred their knowledge by involving the kids from when they were really little and teaching them so that they understood, I think they understood the concepts.
What are you up to again now?
I'm watering.
And you look at the plants they used and how they used them and how things were managed in concert to provide for the community while at the same time maintaining the integrity of the aina, of all the natural resources. So it's a major component into how this ancient agricultural system used to work and something we're trying to bring back.
When you make your own emo or anything, you only take what you need. That's why the respect comes in. Today, everybody's cut down everything and take more than they need, so they waste a lot of things, so the environment gets wasted like that. So the most important thing is always have respect for one another and for itself.
And the river opens for the righteous, 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 and the river opens for the righteous someday. Walking with my brother, and he wondered what's on my mind. I said what I believe in my soul ain't what I see with my eyes, and we can't turn our back this time. I am a patriot and I love my country, because my country is all I know. I wanna be with
this whole area is sacred. So
people who understand me. I've got nowhere else to go. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday.
My favorite thing about gardening is that instead of having to drive all the way to the store, you can just go out in your yard and pick it and wash it and eat it.
It's an interesting question how to prepare a young person for the world. How does one teach happy survival. Permaculture is about more than just plants.
Most of our garden waste is useful. We make healthy soil by calling in the FBI. FBI stands for fungi, bacteria, and invertebrates.
Mushrooms, first of all, are the premier recyclers on the planet. Beneficial fungi helps root systems develop and stay healthy. They decompose stuff, so then it can be taken up by the other plants and trees.
We have a turtle pond. It has fish and turtles. We use their wastewater in the garden because it is good for the plants.
So the hose is coming from the bottom of the turtle pond, and right now this is kind of coming out clear. Pretty soon we're going to see it come out real dirty, but this still has lots of bionutrients from both the turtles and the fish.
If they just poop on the ground, they will absorb into and it will give the plants lots of nitrogen. And
if I wanted to make a farm out of this place, I could probably triple my capacity. But I don't. I still want it to be a yard. We put a solar power system up, we put a solar water system in place.
Hi, I'm Victor. I'm 13 and I helped install this solar panel, which powers most of the house.
But I'm still just doing the laundry when the sun's on. I can do it anytime I want, but I've learned, better energy habits.
That was powered by the sun.
we use raised beds gardens for the plants that take a lot of care, and it also helps the weeds. We use soil from our compost, so we don't need fertilizer.
Just the act of planting something and watching it grow, and it being a complete miracle to have something that starts off as a tiny little seed and then turns into a plant and produces fruit that you can harvest and eat is totally amazing to kids, and they absolutely get into it.
Rain comes down into the river. Yeah, the river runs out into the sea. The sea surrounds. Oh, this island is home to me. Come on down to the river. Come on down with me. We could both jump in there. We could swim on out to the sea. Oh, let's go down, yeah. Let's go jump in the water, yeah. You know the river of love runs deep. Yeah, it flows through you and me, yeah. Oh, the rain comes down into the river. Yeah, the river runs out into the sea. The sea surrounds that island. This island is home to me.
Hey, be careful not to distract me, okay?
Let's go down to the border. Come with me, my friend. What if we cross over and not come back again? Oh, let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down and cross over. Let's go down. Let's go down. You know the water of love is sweet when it rains down over me.
Thank you for watching our film. Now you try it. It's really fun.